Hello Capricorn, welcome to your year 2019 overview. Just to let you know, this is a general reading. If you want a personal reading, you can go to my website at www.spiritualreadings.net. Okay. Also, do check out your moon sign and your rising sign, because sometimes that gives you a complete picture as well as your sun sign does. And also do like and subscribe to my channel, it would be very much appreciated. And if you've got any constructive feedback, that would be great as well, in which I can improve my channel or my videos. Also, there will be a love reading that will be coming out soon, so do watch out for that. And yes, so what I'm going to do is go straight into the reading, and let's see what's going on. Okay, so in the month of January then. So it's showing in the month of January, Capricorn, you've got the Eight of Pentacles in the upright, and you've got the Three of Swords in the upright. And the Eight of Pentacles in the upright is about putting hard work and efforts in. Being specialised at your craft. Ensuring that all the work that you do is completed. Putting hard blood and sweat and tears into something. But there could be some sort of heartbreak or loss, or maybe recovery as well. Okay, so maybe that you're perhaps overworking yourself in January, Capricorn. You put a lot of hard work in, but perhaps not thinking about your health, and maybe it's putting some strain on your health, and maybe you need to sort of recover, or perhaps you need some to think more about your health, because you don't want to put your health at risk as well, because health does come first. If it isn't overworking and putting strain on your health, it could be possibly you've put in hard work into something, but as a result there's been hurt and loss. Okay, it could be in a romantic situation, it could be in some form of situation that you're in where all the work you've put in, all the efforts you've put in, there's been some sort of hurt and loss surrounding that. Alright, looking in the month of February is showing here, we've got the Seven of Pentacles in the upright, and also we've got the Tower card in the reverse. So with the Seven of Pentacles in the upright position, it's just showing here that you're seeing if all your hard work and efforts has paid off, whether all the work that you've put in is bearing fruit, and you're evaluating it, seeing if it's it's doing well. But it seems that with the Tower in the reverse, it seems like there's something that has not perhaps been released with the Tower card. Perhaps there's some hidden tensions bring under the surface that's perhaps accumulating. So maybe all the hard work and efforts you've put in, and you're evaluating it to see if it's going to bear fruit. Perhaps there's some concerns that you have within yourself. Perhaps some hidden tensions that have not been surfaced. Perhaps you're bottling things up and you're suppressing everything in the month of February. Okay, so it could be within a work situation, with all the hard work efforts you've put in. Perhaps there's some tensions, hidden tensions there that you're a bit concerned about. If it's in a relationship, or the hard work and investing you've put in the relationship, perhaps there it's not. There's some hidden tensions and disruptions which need to be released on some level. So I feel like there is some sort of internal conflict that's going on with you in the month of February, Capricorn. In March then, Capricorn, you've got the Hermit card in the upright, and also you've got the Four of Pentacles in the upright. So what the Hermit card represents here in this situation, the Hermit card is you reflecting, gaining some insight and answers as to about what has happened. And it may be looking back at the past, reviewing the past, see how things have gone, because within the format of the first quarter of the reading, the Hermit seems to be looking back at these 2 months over here. So maybe you need to gain some insight and reflection in the months of January and February, or in the past, and investigate about what's been going on to gain and seek the answers that you need. Okay, And it seems that with the Four of Pentacles, perhaps you've kind of, on a personal level, closed yourself off, or perhaps you're too guarded. Or if it isn't to do with that, perhaps if it's on an emotional level, perhaps, yeah, again, if it's on an emotional level, perhaps you're guarding yourself, or perhaps you're a bit too possessive of someone in a relationship. And maybe you seek some answers in the past as to why you're like that. If it's on a material, financial level, maybe you want to hold on to your resources. And obviously your finance as well, but your money and everything. And it could be because you're looking back at the past and you notice there's been some sort of disruption. Maybe you've put a lot of hard work and effort in January and February, and it seems like things are not planning to go in your favour. And this is why now perhaps you're holding yourself back, standing firm, and holding on to your money and resources in the month of March. So the advice card for the first quarter, Capricorn, is you've got the Two of Ariel. Now the Two of Ariel says here for a message, it's important to have balance, working multiple jobs or projects at once and making work fun. So it seems like there's some sort of juggling act going on in the first quarter for you, Capricorn. And maybe you've got multiple jobs or projects going at once. And maybe need to balance and give equal attention to each area of your life and somehow devise a plan to make sure everything's working in your favour, especially every area of life's working how you want it to work, and you're not neglecting either. For example, you're putting too much work, you're neglecting your family life, or you're overworking, you're neglecting your health. Making sure that you've got a balance in all areas of your life. Right, so that's the Two Ariel represents there for you. Looking into April then, you've got the Two of Swords in the upright, and you've got the King of Swords in the reverse position. So there might be some indecisiveness in April, Capricorn. There could be some mental sort of back and forth, not knowing what to do. Perhaps you don't have the answers right in front of you right now. Because if you look at this lady on the card, she's blindfolded. She doesn't know what to do because she hasn't got all the answers that she needs. And she's going back and forth about a decision that she needs to make, and she's not sure. And there could be some emotions tied to this. If you notice the water in the background in the scene, there could be some emotions tied to this. And it could be in relation to perhaps a air sign. So this could be a Gemini, Libra or Aquarius, relatively an older person. It doesn't have to be an air sign, it could be some of the qualities of that air sign. Now King of Swords in reverse is someone who is quite verbally harsh, someone who's perhaps a bit of a con man, someone who's perhaps arrogant as well, in which they approach situations. And they're very blunt as well when they talk, or they're very direct. And perhaps on an emotional sense, maybe ruminating back and forth whether to stick around with this air sign if you are involved in one. Alright? And because you may be questioning their character, and with the King of Swords in the reverse, it's not really a particularly good character either. But if it isn't on a romantic sense, it could be perhaps on a business or a financial matter, perhaps in a business situation where you have to decide something and you're not sure what to do, and it's causing you maybe a bit of anxiety and unrest mentally. And it could be that there's an air sign around you who's perhaps instigating some things in your work arena. And if this is what's going on, perhaps you need to kind of understand why this King of Swords in the reverse is acting the way they are at the moment. Alright? And if it's someone around you on a personal level, then, especially within a family unit, perhaps there's some indecision going on there as well. You're not sure what to do with this person, basically. Looking in the month of May, you've got the Five of Swords in the reverse, and you've got the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse position. So with the Five of Swords in the reverse, this can indicate that perhaps you need to overcome some sort of defeat in May. And it could be because you're not gaining any material or financial prosperity here, with the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse position. And it could be that the defeats with on a material financial matter, perhaps you weren't able to establish yourself as you like to. And there could be that there's been a defeat in a relationship, there were potholes in the relationship. Each pentacles are representing potholes in the relationship, like gaps. It wasn't on solid ground, and it was like a weak foundation, and the relationship's not prospering as it should be. Okay, but there is some sort of defeat happening in the month of May for you, Capricorn. Okay, and this defeat's not allowing you to perhaps feel prosperous or feel like you're not established yourself on some level here, and that you're not feeling on solid ground right now. With the Four of Swords in the reverse and the Page of Swords in the reverse, this could indicate here that in the month of June that you're coming out of rest and seclusion and taking a time out. You're coming out of that now. And it could be in association with perhaps some negative communication that you've heard with the Page of Swords in the reverse. It could be a relatively young air sign around you, Gemini, Libra or Aquarius. And perhaps this person's quite immature. Again, quite manipulative. A bit of a con artist again. Air sign indies in the reverse, especially the court cards in the reverse position can represent someone who's quite cunning as well. But perhaps it could be not even on it might even be a person or an individual. It might represent a situation that you're in. Perhaps you're not able to embark on some business adventure here, or perhaps gain some knowledge and skills that you'd like to have. Because the Page of Swords in the upright can represent you achieving some skills, knowledge, attaining some new information, learning. But in the reverse, it seems like you're not able to achieve that. So you are coming out of, like I said, out of a break, taking a time out. But it seems like you might have had some negative communication. That's probably one of the reasons why you've taken that time out, maybe. Because Page can represent communications in a situation here. And it could be possible there is an air sign around you in the second quarter, Capricorn, because you've got it here in the month of April and you've got it in the month of June. There's probably an air sign around you. It's perhaps quite immature, stubborn, arrogant, quite cunning as well, that you need to be careful of. Okay, but it seems like you've taken out a break from this. Or perhaps you've taken a time out from this air sign individual who's ever causing you some troubles here in the second quarter. And if it is on a romantic level, again, this person's quite immature. They're very abrupt in which they approach situations as well. So do be careful, this person. Your advice card for the second quarter, Capricorn, you've got the Knight of Gabriel. Which means, which represents being confident, enthusiastic, courageous, and charismatic. So the note here is time to take action, great passion for a cause, instinctively knowing just what to do. All right. So now it's time to take action, okay, and really put your heart into something here. Passion for a cause. So if you really feel strongly about something, really put your heart and blood and sweat into it, and instinctively knowing what you can do, what you're able to do. So use your intuition as well to propel you forward. All right. So really do take the action that you need to in the second quarter there, Capricorn. Because that's what the advice card is telling you. In the third quarter, we've got the Ten of Swords in the reverse, and we've got the Fool card in the upright. So this is in the month of July. And again, it's showing some form of betrayal here, Capricorn. In the month of July, I've been stabbed in the back, overcoming that because it's in the reverse position. The upright's been stabbed in the back. It's happened and it's caused you a lot of hurt and pain. But in the reverse, you're overcoming some sort of betrayal and hurt here in July. And as a result, now it's probably need to start a new beginning or a new sort of path for yourself in July. But don't resort. Perhaps you still want to go back to this though, because of the Fool card, even though you want to start a new beginning, perhaps you want to clean the slate on what's happened here in this betrayal situation that you've been in. Perhaps start a new beginning, start again on a blank slate. And if you have been betrayed in a relationship, perhaps you want to renew the relationship, maybe clean the slate for what has happened. You know, perhaps renewing the relationship on some level. Or if it's in a job or career, financial situation, perhaps you want to overcome that and take a leap of faith just to make hoping that things will be resolved, taking that positivity and injecting that so things can move forward in the right direction for you. Looking in the month of August, we've got the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Wands in the upright, and we've got the Three of Coins in the upright, which is kind of good, really. So the Queen of Wands in the upright is someone who's an Aries, a Leo, or Sagittarius. Someone who's quite passionate, courageous, very self-confident within themselves. They know what they want, they go after it. They put all their heart and soul into everything. Very intuitive. And it could be that with this fire sign individual, if they are around you on the scene, that perhaps you want to develop your skill set. If it's within a work environment, someone's perhaps going to help you. Because you look at the Queen of Wands, she's looking in this direction. If you look at the interaction, so perhaps they're going to help you develop your skills and knowledge set within a business environment. Or if you are in a relationship with a fire sign, perhaps you want to progress things further, or they're eyeing to progress things further, move things forward. Or this could be just you perhaps focusing and being determined within yourself, because the Queen of Wands doesn't necessarily have to be another person. It could be within yourself, being more confident, being more creative, being more passionate, enthusiastic about developing your finances, developing your skill set, progressing and moving forward. And within the month of September, you've got the Devil card in the upright, and you've got the Two of Pentacles in the reverse. Right, so in the month of September, there seems to be some perhaps toxic situation that's going on. You feel bound and trapped to something here in a toxic situation. And perhaps with the Two of Pentacles is now you deciding to stop weighing the pros and cons of a situation, evaluating something here. Maybe decide that you don't want to be in this toxic situation anymore after evaluating what's been going on. Okay, and it could be on a material financial level, because Pentacles can represent the material realm. If it isn't, maybe that you're in a toxic relationship, you weigh the pros and cons of it, and now you're kind of in the reverse position, you're kind of just dumping it now. You've kind of decided what you want to do, and you don't want to do the juggling act anymore. You decided to be firm and make a decision about the situation. It could be that you decide that either things need to change, or perhaps you're just going to drop ball and let go of the situation, not bother with it anymore. Your advice card for the third quarter, Capricorn, you've got the Eight of Michael in the upright. So you can be free, make a courageous choice to change your situation, not seeing things clearly. So the Eight of Michael is all about perhaps moving on from something, making a courageous choice to change something if it's not working as you like it to. And it could be because you don't have all the answers to see things clearly about what's happening at the moment. But if you feel like things are not working out in the third quarter, there's some sort of situation that's working against you, maybe it's about time you let go of it and move on. And to reform your situation to a better path for you and where you want to go. With the Nine of Swords in the upright and the Death card in the reverse, there could be some anxiety going on here. Worriment, not being able to sleep at night. And with the Death card, like I said, in the reverse position, it's perhaps you're resisting change here. So this worriment and anxiety you're getting at night time in the month of October, the reason perhaps you experience that because you're resisting change. Maybe there's something that has to be let go of and you don't want to do it. and it's causing a lot of anxiety and worriment. When you know you need to move on and let go, but you're resisting the change, that's probably why you're not sleeping that much at night. Maybe you know you need to let go of something and stop resisting change, whether it's in a relationship, a job situation, or a personal situation. In the month of November in 2019, Capricorn, you got the Nine of Wands in the reverse, and you got Six of Cups in the upright. So it could be that with the Nine of Wands in the reverse, maybe you need to let your guard down in November, or perhaps overcoming some stiff competition, because that's what the Seven of Wands represent in the upright, standing your ground, overcoming stiff competition. Maybe you just need to kind of back down, stand back, not get involved in any of the drama, and perhaps not be too defensive as well, I guess. Maybe not being so defensive, letting your guard down. And the reason why perhaps you decide to let your guard down, maybe looking back at the past, feeling nostalgic about remembering the good times in November. Okay, there could even be children involved, because it represents children here, so there could be some children involved about the past as well. Letting your guard down in a relationship, maybe looking back at the past, maybe there's some past issues that you need to overcome as to why you're quite defensive, why you've got your guard up. Perhaps there's some situation where it's quite competitive, maybe you need to kind of let go of it and not let it get to you, not have you riled up in a situation. And maybe the answer you seek, maybe it pertains to your past here. In the month of December, Capricorn, we've got the Eight of Cups in the reverse, and we've got the Five of Cups in the reverse. So the Eight of Cups in the reverse is you not being able to move on in December. You don't want to move on from something here. And it could possibly be very much an emotional situation, where something where your emotions is heavily invested in something. It could be a relationship, a job, or a career that you've put all your heart and soul into something. You don't want to move on from it. Just in the reverse position. And then you've got the Five of Cups in the reverse, overcoming some regrets and loss and sorrow here. Okay, so perhaps it's something you don't want to move on from, but there's been some sorrow, regret and some loss here in the month of December. So your advice card for the fourth quarter, you've got the Nine of Gabriel. And it's showing here, stay determined and move forward. Be prepared for any possibility. Environmental activism. So maybe this card showing here as an advice: don't give up, keep moving forward, keep persisting. Be prepared. There might be some other possibilities out there are waiting for you. If something's not working in a situation, Capricorn, maybe there's some other possibilities or choices you can look at that perhaps can get out of a situation. Okay, and maybe you need to take some action within your environment, wherever that is, or within a community. So overall, Capricorn, it does seem like it's going to be a tough year for you. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's something to do with the Saturn transiting your sign this year. Maybe that's throwing a lot of challenges in your way, but I believe all these changes that are happening and all these toxic energies that are going, all these negative energies that are creeping up in certain parts of the year, I feel like there are going to be learned lessons, and I feel like it is going to be quite an intense year for you in 2019. But don't lose hope. Capricorn, from what I know, is quite a strong zodiac sign. They can withstand any obstacle and overcome it. And also bear in mind the advice card I've given for each quarter as well. And I hope that's been helpful to you, Capricorn, and I will see you next month. Thank you.